And so Aaron begins his segment off with a big lie. He says, I was in Scientology until 2 years ago. Outright lie. He's been out of Scientology since 2009. He's been in communication with myself and Mike Rinder since 2009, 8 years. Acting as a mole and a spy in a Scientology company because it was paying him very well, and he didn't want to come a cropper with those people. So he pretended like he was a Scientologist, so he continued to profit and get intelligence, which made it important with his idol, Mike Rinder. The next thing he says is absolutely false. He says, I'm the 16-year-old kid, or however old he was, and I'm going to the Scientology event. I see David Miscavige talking about what happened with the IRS and how it was this big, 30 years of persecution were overcome, and it was proven that Scientology entitled to exemption, and exemption was gotten, right? And he said, and I was watching it in awe, only to later find out it was all bullshit. Except the problem is, it wasn't all bullshit. Virtually everything that was said there, in fact, the entire thing was backed up by documents, okay? Virtually everything that was said there was true, okay? Like David Miscavige or not, like Scientology or not, what Aaron Levin Smith saw at that thing that he said were the false representations that then lured him in and made this whole thing fraudulent to him weren't false in the first place. They were true. So there's no story. If that's wrong, there's no story. And I'm telling you, it's wrong. So he wasn't lured in through false representations. And then in order to, I guess, try to validate that they were false, they throw this chyron up, all in caps. The church owed the IRS more than $1 billion in taxes. End of quote. Well, Mike Rinder knows that's a lie. But Mike Rinder is just a bag of delusion now, so he doesn't even register with him. It's a good line. The fact of the matter is we do know, is that Mike is laying these down, and I do know from firsthand knowledge that he does have knowledge that these are false premises. And we also know that he's been doing nothing other than for 8 years being paid to act as an authority to manufacture such negativity about Scientology. That's what he got paid for. That's what Levin Smith paid him for. That's what Mike Bennett paid him for. That's what Omblad paid him for. That's what Argel paid him for. That's what the Garcias paid him for, $175 an hour. And that's what Leah's paying him for.